everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. And yes, be prepared. They already warned me, my co-host, that they're coming after me, and they're sicking this young lady, Nicole, on me. But I don't care, because today I was politically correct when I addressed her as she came in. Even though the producer commented that I wasn't politically correct. But was I politically correct, Nicole?
For your standards, Heshy, you did just fine.
God, no,
Just
not
fine.
even a nice word for your standards. I want to welcome Tom. Tom, welcome back to the show. You look wonderful, and thank you for coming. You're always on time.
Thank you very much.
And Nicole, thank you for coming. You look wonderful. I can't say pretty, right? I'm not allowed to say pretty.
You're not allowed to say pretty.
Well, George, I didn't ask you, George, but okay, fine. You look aristocratic.
Oh, I'll take
and
it.
very smart, like
I'll
with
take
those
it.
glasses. And George, you are always handsome.
Thank you. My mom says the same.
By the way, George has a party tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you the address, but if you want to sneak over, he has a lot of food. Greek food?
Italian food.
Italian, you're Greek.
It's in Bay Ridge. What do you want?
Gosh. Okay,
The after party's
fine.
at your house, right?
That's right. That's right. Anyways, everybody, welcome to the show. We're going to talk, of course, about our favorite president. Look how she's blinking again. Is she winking? Does she have a nervous wink over there?
I see it. I see
You
it.
see the wink, but she's going to hear I brought the Constitution with me, by the way, this week in my pocket, because I'm going to quote to Miss Lawyer Constitution.
By the way,
rules.
Christopher Messina wants to let you know that he believes you can say he's very pretty, and he would not be offended if you told him he's very pretty, by the way.
Oh, really? Yeah. I can do that, but I did that on the plane and I got in trouble.
Yeah, well, Christopher Messina, of course, from the Messy Times. You can check him out on YouTube.
If you start calling me pretty, though, I'm going to change my
Right,
pronouns.
right. I also I want to tell you that
he's worth a very pretty penny. We can say that, though, right? Safely,
Yes, he
Christopher
is.
Messina, we can
And
definitely
my
say
nephew is standing in the corner over there that nobody sees. He says, I'm very rich. And George agrees with him. I don't know. Linda is rich. And I'm going to complain about Linda this week. You're all going to hear about my
What your
complaints
nephew
about Linda.
doesn't realize that
Yeah.
the family's still playing the lotto, so you're not as rich as people may think.
Correct.
That's what we want to
Linda's
point
playing
out.
the lotto, and I bought her a couple of tickets. I'm gonna try to add up a lot for her birthday, and that will be her gift this year.
Wonderful.
No jewelry, no. It's only number 33, so it's no big deal. You know what I mean? Or
Number
34,
33? That's as long as I've
33
been
or
alive,
30.
Heshy.
Right, I got that. But when it gets to 50, I'll buy her a nice.
33 good years or hard years?
My son is in the room. I don't even want to say how many hard years. You know,
Oh, no.
But yeah. Every day she makes me miserable.
And
But I love her.
Black Beauty wants to point out that she would vote for Mrs. Tischler on the Rich Housewives ticket.
Wow, I love it.
Linda
Yes,
keeps getting
that's
votes.
an idea.
They like Linda, and she's okay. No
I
problem.
don't know, Hesh.
I know. Anyways, we have a wonderful joke today and a wonderful quote today, and it's going to be a lot of talk about. I'm hoping to get off the subject of the Constitution and all that, but I do want to talk about the Constitution. I do want to talk about Trump. I do want to discuss a personal matter that when I got upset this week, I picked up the phone and I called George, and George told me, shut up and just take it like a man. Thank you, George.
I'm here to.
But
I'm here to serve.
But Tom told me to go after them.
Yep.
Go after who?
Tom wants to start wars with everybody.
What I want to know is how come I'm not told anything?
I did. I told you too about it, and I'm going to complain again on the air about it when we get to the story. We are ready to begin. We're going to be welcoming a lot of other the people
Yep.
of our radio
We
shows.
have some new radio stations out there. I want to say hello to our friends, first of all, a little early, but 102.7 WNEW. WNEW, for those out there in New York, was legend.
2.7 HD FM 3
Yep.
or something.
Yep, and it's WNEW, which was legendary for rock and roll here in New York City. And so they've joined us here with us in about 30 seconds. Also WSNR, and we have a station in Miami. I think it's WJPR. I think it's
PIV is
yeah,
small one. So they're listening
WVIP,
to the Miami.
yeah. We have a
So
few
when I go
stations.
down to Miami in January, you're all welcome to come say hello to me while I stand on the beach in my.
Just make sure you're blasting the Will Smith Miami song on the.
Hey.
Are you wearing a
welcome to
Speedo?
Miami,
Not a
bienvenido
Speedo. I'm
a
going to wear my
Miami.
long underwear. And that's it, if you're lucky, because they're all going to take pictures and make a comment to me. Oh, Heshy's naked on the beach, which.
You and Will Smith in the same sentence. Just
Oh,
be,
really?
be proud, Heshy. You know,
Okay,
Will Smith
fine.
Miami.
Yeah, I happen to have liked Will Smith. He was very good.
Well,
Past tense?
before the Oscars. Before the Oscars.
Once he had a mental attack slapping people on
He's
on
had some
national-
other issues,
Defending his
sir.
wife.
Anyways,
Yeah.
welcome everybody from WNEW and welcome WSNR.
Yep, our
And we're
flagship.
going to start our show. I want to do a shout out to my granddaughter Mira Nava, who's not feeling so well, and Layla Tamar, and Yeshua, wonderful thing, and Ellie, I miss you. Call me, get in touch with me, my boy, and Sergeant Peter, you are wonderful. That's it. Who else? Do I have anybody else? Linda, hi. I hope you're feeling better. Go ahead. Who do you got?
I got our first lady of Sportswire Radio, Miss Zena, out there in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. Our buddy Justin Parsley, who is now the member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, said he wanted to give you a big shout out. Anthony Finkel, if he's out there, although Anthony, I think, was a little upset at me on something I said I don't remember on last week's show. Yeah, but I do want to give him a big shout out. I know it was his girlfriend's birthday on Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday,
Lisa
girlfriend.
Leto out there, Josh Bailey, of course, good old Josh Bailey, and just everybody else out there that's checking us out. I also want to give actually a big shout out to my friend Luke Leyland, who I had a chance to interview yesterday. He was actually fighting in what's called the Kings of Dambe event. It's the African Warriors Fighting Championship. Think of like almost like 1600s versions of Gladiator, and he's actually going out there and fighting, and they have 213,000 followers on Instagram, and I actually had the opportunity to have my interview shared by that fight, and I'm hoping that I can lead more into that.
You can email Just Enough Heshy for anything, and JUSTENOUGH HESHY
I'll put
at
that in the chat,
gmail.com. Good. George, you have to talk to our beautiful lady that I love, your wife. She made me a wonderful latte.
Chai latte.
Chai latte.
That's our drink.
Great. And then she gave me a secret one to take home that you don't know about.
It's fine.
Yeah, I saved myself $5 the next morning, so I was happy.
Good, good. I want to give a shout out to Belinda Rivera. She works for me. She's my right-hand man or woman, and she put together my holiday party.
Which we're going to plug right about now, because George has an important Christmas toy giveaway with the New American Civic League and the Coney. It's going to be this Saturday from 4 o'clock to 7 p.m. He's sponsoring it, and the address is at 8681 18th Avenue, corner of 18th and Benson, right?
That's
What's the deal? We have to bring one toy, two toy? What's the deal?
No, we have the toys. So I just want to thank the Coney. That's the casino project that's trying to come to Coney Island. They were generous enough to support our endeavor, and we're going to have about 500, 600 toys.
Can I run over there after the Shabbos to
Sure, absolutely. It's from 4 to 7. So
4 to 7, 8681 18th Avenue.
And I just want to say, you'll see a lot of children come.
Good.
And what we're doing is a lot of these kids, that's probably the only toy they're going to get this holiday.
You're a good man.
So it's a good feeling when you're helping out these kids.
And you? Sarah Rose.
Of course.
I finally met Sarah Rose. Beautiful girl. And so nice and smart. I like her.
Aw.
Yeah, cute. I'm so I just enjoyed being with her.
She doesn't
that
give
night.
you as much trouble as her mother. It's probably why.
Right, that's right.
But, yeah,
Anyways, we're going to start our show.
And also,
I'm-
one more thing, if you want to give
one
us a
more
call,
thing.
646-974-1580.
Nobody's picking
Yeah.
up the phone.
I also want to give a shout out
Nobody's
to two
picking
more
up the
people.
phone. Yeah, you can call, but nobody
Well,
picks up the phone.
If you want, I'll go in the back and pick
No,
the calls
I
up.
need you here with
All
me.
right.
Somebody's got to defend you
All
against
right,
these
all
two
right.
crazies on the other side of the table. Okay, we're ready for war. Oh, he's looking at me, the producer, with those eyes. What is he
Yeah,
pointing? He's pointing at something.
he's pointing at me.
Oh,
That's
okay,
fine.
go ahead.
I just want to say a quick hello to George Weitengruber, Weitengruber Law, and Ronnie Lumangino from Dynasty Advisors.
Okay, people are getting bored.
And
We just gotta
Weitengruber
start the
Law
show.
Firm, by the way, 732-695-3303, 1720 Highway 34, Suite 10 in Wall Township, New Jersey. They handle bankruptcy, foreclosures, wills, and trust, and they do it with compassion.
Bring that up again.
I will.
Anyways, my quote for the day, and this is simple: a life is for one generation. A good name is forever. And that quote I wrote for you, George, because when I told George about a complaint, George said, so stop doing the good. Stop going out there. Just let's start working for ourselves. Take care of yourself, Heshy. It's time to give up.
Well, I'm telling you, Heshy, there's a part of Heshy that maybe the audience doesn't know, but Heshy works his butt off trying to help people from morning to night. And sometimes I'm like, Heshy, you got to take care of yourself too a little bit,
I know, George, you are worried about me, and I love you, but, and here's what happened to me. I volunteer for an organization called Big Cholim. I just about 2 hours a week, I pick up people, drive people up, and then they make me go visit certain people just to sit there, tell a funny story, and go on. They give out walkers and wheelchairs, and they're just wonderful organizations.
It's a good deed. There's no
And
question.
all of us are volunteers, and they have some paying things. So my supervisor, a woman, beautiful lady, she got honored at the yearly dinner, and I gave $100. And usually you get a book, But this year they put it on the computer, so they didn't even have to print the book. They just took our money, Cute. You have a computer there, you see your little paper there, and it gets deleted. It's not fair. But anyways, I'm sitting there and I walk in, and who do I see at the head table? Yes, no, you can go, Councilman Kalman Yeager.
I knew it.
And Assemblyman Simcha Felder. And I just I've never seen them in 10 years do anything for an organization. Never done anything good for us. Volunteer, not even do anything. I walked over to them in front of everybody. What are you guys doing here at the head table? Oh.
You asked?
Yes.
Boy, by boy.
And I'm standing there. I shook their hands quietly, nicely. I was very statesman-like, they didn't speak.
Okay, great. We like
I was thinking George in my head, Heshy's going to have a mental breakdown, and George was, no, I was statesman, quietly. I said, what are you doing here?
They probably were surprised that you were.
Right. And so I go over to them. So Kalman says, well, I'm here to speak and give Simcha Eichenstein an award. I said, an award for what?
What happened to your
for being
statesmanship?
a legislator, and we're honoring him. I said, but you've never done anything. I want the award. He said, we'll tell them you want an award. You'll tell them I want an award? I just never seen them do anything. Zero. I mean, something. Pick up a box. Go visit somebody.
It's because you beat Kalman Yeager on election day in that Republican primary, and Simcha Felder is going to be back on the
But you
ballot
don't
this year.
honor
That's why.
anybody.
Well, the real truth is, do they get money from a city?
No.
Or the
I'm
state?
sure that they needed a name and they needed somebody, and I'm hoping they give money because I've never seen any of the donations coming from Kalman Yeager. And Kalman gives out only 20 grand.
No,
to
but did they
anybody.
get money from the city?
I think they get something.
Well, that's why he got an award.
Most
That's
of our
what it's
money,
all about.
he's assemblyman, and most of our money is all private donations. Big Achron has been around a long time, and it's all really private. But okay, the point is, when I become councilman, I would take care of them more than 20 grand. Anyways, here's my joke for the day.
All
Linda,
right.
are you ready?
Let's go.
As you know, every Saturday night for me and Linda, it's date night. Okay, I don't have a lot of money. I mean,
Yep.
I know my nephew says I'm super rich.
I know you're playing the lotto still. Go ahead.
Right.
Let's move.
So anyways, we go to ShopRite, and then I take Linda for a pizza.
The ShopRite
Thank
never
God
lied.
she only eats one slice, and she takes off the cheese, which is terrible. I mean, that's a waste of money. I'm going to try to buy pizza without cheese. Maybe it's cheaper. Anyways,
I think they call that focaccia.
anyway, she cut my allowance this week, so I wasn't happy. Anyways, I go shopping with Linda, and we go up and down those aisles 2 times. And finally, Linda says, Heshy, I know there's something I forgot to buy. I just can't think of it. So I said, was it tuna fish, cereal, sugar, coffee? She says, no, none of those things, especially not coffee. I don't drink that awful stuff. It makes me nervous. I said, Linda, they have decaffeinated coffee. She says, no, it's not the coffee that makes me nervous, it's the price. That's why she has a lot of money. Anyways, cheapskate.
That is
Anyway,
crazy as I am.
wasn't that a cool joke? I just stood there and I laughed. I said,
You had me on the pizza without the cheese. When George said focaccia, that was pretty funny. That was
anyways,
funny.
we're going to start our show. Let's start. Simple and plain. I don't understand. Nicole, I'm coming after you, and then over there, my little friend George.
Surprise!
Don't
Yeah.
be surprised. There is a constitution in the United States. Do you agree, Tom? Please help me.
As far as I
Okay,
know.
and there's a bunch of rules there, right? 1, 2, 3, Second Amendment, First Amendment, 15th Amendment. The 14th Amendment, this week, some idiots in Colorado decided, and it was only 4-3, by the way, which I know he should win the appeal, that they're taking
That doesn't mean
the
he should win the
greatest
appeal.
man on the planet, and no matter
greatest
what,
man on the planet.
whatever, he has a right.
That's a stretch.
Oy, that's
Doesn't
pretty.
make a
That's pretty
difference
generous.
That,
Yeah.
that he has a right to run for the presidency. And they took him off stating he did something illegal. Now, if I remember correctly my Constitution, you are innocent till proven guilty. No proven guilty, no court case against him, nothing.
Can I add also the 14th Amendment does not say president anywhere.
Officer
Officer of a state.
That's not even.
no,
That's
no,
not even. That's
okay.
not even what I'm
So
going to
either
get
way,
at in a
right?
minute,
And the
but-
14th Amendment. Oh, thank God I printed it out.
Good. Did you print out Colorado's
I'm
Constitution
gonna.
while
It
you're
doesn't
at it?
make a
Because that's what's
difference.
relevant.
Doesn't make a
here.
difference. The Constitution supersedes everything. Just so you know, even if someone is found ineligible to serve, the amendment says Congress can over.
Listen, Colorado went an extra step just to be clear. Even if you put in his name, you write it in. This thing that they came up with, it says you cannot count it.
That's not fair.
Can you imagine that somebody writes? Let's say
You know what's funny? You know what's
Wait a
funny
minute, I'm
about the
gonna finish.
Republican
Can I finish?
position? Yeah, by all
That's
means.
point
I'm gonna let
three,
you finish.
The
but,
14th Amendment of point 3, but before the point 3, it says the section includes as follows: it's the citizenship clause, privileges of immunity clause for the president.
By the way, he doesn't have, 'cause he's
Due
not the
process clause and equal protection clause. Now, they did not do any due process to find him guilty. So you're just saying he did something? You're saying he killed somebody? You can't do that.
Okay.
They took him off illegally. And now, if they appeal it to the Supreme Court,
And
the
they
highest
will.
Supreme Court,
They will.
and the Supreme Court overturns them, then no matter what, he's back on the ballot. But they're playing this game illegally. They did something illegally. And Miss Lawyer, you know, I don't want to hear your personal opinion.
No, you're not going to hear my personal
Legal,
opinion.
law, constitution, you know they had no right to take him off the
Well,
ballot.
I mean, first of all, if it, quote unquote, means we're not having an actual conversation, but we are. So let's do that. The number of conflations here are stagnant.
I don't know what conflation
Okay,
means.
that means you're confusing things that
I'm
don't
not
belong.
confusing.
So hold on.
George,
Hold on.
am I confusing you?
Can you let me finish?
Let's hear our argument. Let's hear the argument.
Don't point
Okay,
to
so
her.
one-
She confused me.
All right. Let's see if I can unconfuse you. There are two constitutions at play here. And by the way, no, the U.S. Constitution doesn't trump everything. Actually, the U.S. Constitution is the floor of what can happen. In other words, nothing can go below it's the minimum.
No.
States, yes.
Incorrect.
States are...
For example, California approved marijuana many years ago to legalize.
Right, and so even
the
though it's
federal
not-
government can come in and arrest you and shut you down.
Not in California. They
Sure,
can't.
in California, they do it all the time.
By the way, in California,
So-
They come in and they shut down the fields daily when they feel that you're too big. I'm telling you, the federal government can
No,
arrest
they do
you.
that. They do that because you know why they do that? Because of the Commerce Clause. So if those Californians that are being arrested are selling their product, which is federally illegal, out of the state of California where it is legal into a state where it's
No,
not,
they're arresting them
they
for
can
growing it, for having
they,
possession.
Right, but it's not just possession though. It's possession with the intent to sell. So they're selling it outside of the
Let-
state. Under the
let's-
Commerce
let-
Clause, they could do that.
Wow,
now,
you are so
where-
picky. That's not
yeah,
fair.
it's called I'm the lawyer. It's my
The
job.
federal government
So
supersedes everything.
You can't just throw things out there just because you want to be right.
The
Heshy.
1931 law that says marijuana
Mm-hmm.
never, ever in this lifetime, in this world, can ever be legalized again.
Yeah, we also
Federal
had a
government
prohibition
says-
against alcohol that got
but the
tarnished,
but it was
out the door.
But that was overturned
Okay.
by the federal government.
Sure.
If the federal government would have never overturned it, then we can never have alcohol. Marijuana can never be overturned unless the federal government overturns it.
Okay,
And
again,
you guys have been
let's
cheating
go-
with the
it's
stupid
not
little
cheating.
rules.
First of all, there are several
There's a guy
states-
in Bay Ridge that opened up
Heshy.
a cannabis
Let's-
store.
let's
shut
For
down.
the
Let's
love
get
of
back.
the
God,
cannabis
Heshy.
store.
Let's
And
go
you know
back
how he
to-
opened it? He's a white boy, but he took in a black guy. So now, you know what he calls it? A black-owned business.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
Heshy,
God, help me.
focus,
Actually,
focus.
let's focus on
Focus.
Trump.
focusing.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
focus.
Trump
Bring
in
it-
Colorado.
Trump has to be
right.
on that ballot.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Sure.
No, he doesn't, and here's why. And if you could just
Here's why. Go ahead.
shtuck for 30 seconds, I can explain. Every state has its own constitution,
Correct.
and therefore they decide how they want to run things within the borders of their state. They cannot get them off the ballot across the country, but they can get them off the ballot in Colorado per
No,
their. Heshy, stop.
No, but if
Per
if they have a way like your law, once it becomes law, I could use that in other states.
Heshy, do you know what the word mansplain means?
Mansplain?
Yeah, you do a
Means
lot
I'm
of
a
that.
real man.
No, not quite. No.
That means let her. Let's hear her argument.
That means let the girl finish.
Yeah, let the girl finish.
Okay, so by their constitution, their court, and by the way, it is up for appeal, or will be soon, their court has decided that per their constitution, because of his history of what they find to be an insurrection, he's ineligible on their ballot. Now, this word that you use, guilty, I hear you say guilty. He's not
Innocent
guilty.
before guilty. Innocent.
That's in criminal court. We're not talking about a criminal offense. We're not talking about criminal court.
No, that's what it is. You only
But
get
it's
thrown
not.
off the ballot if you're criminally charged. That's what they're saying. He created
That's the U.S. Constitution,
insurrection
not the
against
Colorado Constitution.
Right, but he created insurrection against the United States, not against Colorado.
Right, but in Colorado, that's enough. That passes muster to Colorado. Now, this is a new
What is the?
issue.
What is the? Where does that come from in the Colorado Constitution? First of all, he's never been convicted
Of nothing.
Okay, I just
Not
want to.
yet.
I just want to say
Not
one.
yet.
I
Not
just
yet.
I-
Never.
Yeah, but what are we going to preemptively throw him off the ballot? And the other thing is Joe Biden actually running the country? Has our country Like, our country has actually been overthrown.
That issue has nothing to do
No,
with
it
what
does,
we're looking
because
at.
All right,
what
well,
happens if Florida throws Biden off the ballot?
Right.
Because, he's
So
not really running the country.
Christopher Messi wants to point out here, as we have a bunch of different comments here, the People's Republic of Colorado stand has now dumped marijuana into the court's office. Justin Parsley, our SportsWire Hall of Famer, says, is every state allowed to make Trump ineligible on the ballot? How many states can do this, if not all of them? That's a question maybe for Nicole.
No,
She's
so
a
I'm going to
lawyer.
answer that
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
9 states lost the court case. 13 of the states withdrew their cases. So basically, Colorado is the only one that stands alone. I think they only have like 8 electoral votes.
Well,
So-
California, the lieutenant governor proposed throwing Trump off
Right,
the
but they
ballot.
withdrew that. They withdrew 13 of the states that did file lawsuits.
No, this
withdrew
happened
their
today.
lawsuits.
Right.
No.
And I just want to point out
I
also...
saw California did have one and they withdrew it.
I also want to add that
That's a bad one.
Zena here also wants to tell us, because she was a paralegal, that Nicole is 100% right as it relates to the Colorado Constitution, even though she may not fully agree with the law itself in terms of the ruling, but from a
Right.
legal standpoint, she says you are correct.
Yeah,
So, might wanna
and it
talk
is
about
up
that?
for appeal. So they can still, the
What do you
Supreme
think?
Court can
What do you
still
think? What do you
decide.
think the appeal will? I mean, come on. As a lawyer now, if you were defending Trump, which you have to defend guilty people,
Everybody deserves a defense. Go
right?
on.
If you were defending Trump, does he have a chance to win this appeal, or do you think he has no chance?
In this Supreme Court, I think he has a chance. In this particular Supreme Court, I think he does.
Will it go quick enough to be in time, or will they stall it and play around?
They're going to have to hear it
No, they're going to
before.
have to hear it before because.
But the sad part is January 6th has become like Groundhog Day for liberals. I mean, they keep wanting to relive it over and over.
Well,
again.
I even have to add on a funnier part of Lardner. It's actually in wrestling. I'm actually promoting something in one of the matches that we have. It's called the TF Crew Death Match, and one of the people in the match actually quoted January 6th as he was going to take his opponent in a death match and give him an insurrection. So even in wrestling, it's being used in kind of a comedic way, believe it or not.
Now, let's just say, even if they take him off the stupid ballot, I mean,
Right.
it's only the Republican primary, which he's way ahead by 60 points or
Sure.
40 points. So he wins it. Now, and even he gets the appeal. And the main election, can they do this again to him, or do they have to go back to court? Or is it automatically in the set?
Well, I mean, if he's off the ballot,
He's
for-
off the ballot only for the primary.
primary, right.
Not for the main general election, which is a federal election now, not a Colorado election. Can they take him off of that one?
That's a great question. This is an uncharted territory.
Well, she's
right?
not.
So
I don't
can
think
they-
you're a lawyer in
can-
Colorado.
right. Yeah,
Do
can they
you,
attempt
on a
to?
personal
Sure.
on a personal basis? Do you believe it's right?
I believe that every state should be able to make
Forget
its own
that.
decisions.
In your personal opinion,
Yes, I do.
you
Because,
believe
know,
that
here's what's
Trump
funny.
should be off the ballot.
Here's what's funny about the
She's
Republican
vicious.
position.
You hear
Yeah,
me?
I am.
Well, I
It's
actually
not
have a
vicious.
comment
I'm
for her in a
consistent,
second.
not vicious. Consistent.
but he
That's the
didn't do
difference.
anything wrong.
Here's what cracks me up about the Republican position in general. When it suits you, you want less government. When it doesn't, you want oversight.
We always want less government.
Well then less government means let the states decide who they want on their ballot.
Get rid of the state government and only have the federal government.
For what the
That
federal
would
government's
be
messing everything up.
that would be a disaster.
Thank you very much.
You don't want that to happen.
Absolutely.
Money we'd
not.
save in this country.
The state governments are the only checks on the federal government.
I just want to let you know, Nicole. I don't know how you're going to take this or not, but Joe D wants to say, Heshy, not to sound creepy, but how is this woman single, smart, and beautiful? Wow, that's just for you. That's from Joe D.
Appreciate the
From Joe D,
compliment,
by the
Joe.
way.
We're
Be
working
careful.
on-
She's going to sue you.
We're
Yeah.
working
Well, that's for Joe D. It's not my
Well,
opinion.
She's
That's
not
Joe
going to be
D's
single much
opinion.
longer. Anyways,
Can I just say one last thing
Really
about the Trump
morphed into
thing?
there, Heshy.
I mean, does anyone actually believe? I mean, with the argument I was trying to make before, does anyone actually believe Joe Biden's running the country? I mean, isn't there an insurrection that happened? That whoever is,
Nicole, who's running the country?
who's
You
really
think
running the
Biden's a
country? I mean,
great
do you really
president?
believe Joe Biden's running the country?
And do you
what's
think
to
he's a good
stop?
president?
What's to stop Florida from saying, "Well, there's an insurrection going on. The guy's not even protecting our border."
They did, by the way.
So-
didn't they
So
just
why don't we take him off the ballot?
they
You
just
make a good point.
They just approved to impeach him. You know that.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
just saying
that's gonna
specific.
go
I'm
absolutely
saying
nowhere, but-
specifically, if Florida says, "Hey, Joe Biden's not even protecting our border,"
Screw him.
He's
You're taking
he's
him
checked out. There's obviously been an insurrection that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just take him off the ballot? I mean, you see how slippery that can happen.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right about it. That's a great point, and to which I really have no
But
retort.
I'm
Could
so
they
happy
decide?
you
Yes.
told me now that the state can override the federal government. I'm so proud of you telling me that. Today,
But that's true.
And you know what happened today? Texas governor signed a bill that anybody of the migrants that come into this country illegally, they can arrest and ship back, which is great.
They could have always.
The federal no, you
They
couldn't.
could have always.
You can't do that
They
because the
do it all
federal
the
government
time.
is allowing the immigrants.
They hold them in
to
ICE
come
detention and
no,
they
no,
send
no,
them
but
back.
they're allowing them to come in and then they have to free them after a certain amount of hours when it's supposed to be a few months. Now Texas says, "Oh no, we're going to arrest you and ship you back," which is again against the federal government, and they have no right to do that, Texas. But somehow they're going to be doing it.
Well, this is just like I want to draw light to another example where the federal government and the state governments are at odds. Let's talk abortion. That's another big hot topic issue. No, not even for opinions. Just to analyze the legal standing of it. Federally, abortion is legal up to 20 weeks. Federally. But there is a slew of states right now, a handful of them, in some states where it's totally outlawed. And then, likewise, there are some states where it's almost totally outlawed, where you can have an abortion for a medical problem, but not for anything else. And then there are states like New York and New Jersey where abortion is codified in our Constitution, always to be legal.
And
You
don't,
cannot make
and don't
it
forget,
illegal.
here in New York, we're paying for abortion for people out of state.
Sure, but this is another prime example of states trumping what the federal law is. That happens all the
But
time.
it doesn't make sense. We should be all on the same page. You know,
For what? Why?
In
Why should we be
Ohio,
on the same
a lady
page?
went into the bathroom, had a miscarriage, and they're arresting her for
playing with a corpse.
right.
Yeah.
And while you get to
She
that,
died. The baby died in the bathroom. It's a fact, and he's still going to arrest her.
Yeah.
Well, she was probably in shock. I mean, listen, she just lost her child.
Christopher Messina wants to say that Nicole is lost planning, which is awesome. So he
Lost planning.
Yeah, lost planning.
I actually really like that.
New word.
I hope
Creative right here.
I hope the American people that have brains out there, when COVID came out, everybody was taking the shot, and we got 70%, 80%, and almost all the Americans are being done, and we're taking the booster shot. COVID this year, only 18% of the people have taken the booster shot. And supposedly on January 1, a brand new COVID variant will be coming out, a new strain. But only 18% of us took the shot, so basically we're all going to die again.
Isn't it funny, Heshy, how Republicans learn how to say my body, my choice when it comes to things they don't want to do?
Yeah, but
Isn't
what
that
happened
cute?
to that
It
during
is
the
my
pandemic?
body, my choice. Hold on. My body, my choice.
Correct.
Once there's something else in my body, it's not your choice.
No. That's a
It's another
That's where you
beauty
want to
life.
split the hair.
But-
It's not supposed to split the hair. What's splitting the hair? Either I go through the red light or I don't. That's it.
Once
By the
it's
way,
something
not
else in your
all
body,
rep-
it's not your choice. Fine. So if you get an infection, there's a bacteria in your body. It's not your choice. Halas.
By the way,
It's not your choice.
not all Republicans
You
are.
are cheating me right
Why
across
am
the
I
board.
cheating?
You're using legal, what do you say, slippery slope stuff? That doesn't work like that. We're from the street. You either, if you want to die, jump off the building. But you can't jump off with somebody else. That is
And
murder.
she's not saying for the audience that
No,
you can
no,
jump
no,
off the
no.
building.
Oh,
We're
my
not
God.
saying-
Did I say something illegal?
No.
No,
Next
no,
Tom
no.
is going to have to plug the suicide hotline at the rate. you're doing.
Well, we might have a number or two. We'll plug in a second, but a couple comments here first. Lisa Leto wants to say states should prevail over federal. She also says you're outstanding. I want to say hello also to Karen, who is a part of the Yad Yamin New York. Also, she's
I like Karen.
Oh, I like
Karen's
How
a
are
big-
you, Karen?
Hi.
Yes, we are good friends.
Karen's from the Yad Yamin group. She wants to say hello to you personally. Also, Black Beauty wanted to say, yep. So I hope state law prevails when the UN takes over.
I want to just tell you
That's a
something
good point,
funny.
actually.
And I know maybe you people in the audience are not going to like it. Today I posted a video that went viral for other places. This bad man gets up in the Turkish parliament and he starts cursing out Israel. Allah, we're going to get you and we're going to destroy Israel. As he finishes, he collapses and dies of a heart attack. God spoke through the Arabs. We are going to destroy you, and Jewish people prevail. But the best video was the second video where this guy in India, this imam, or Pakistan, he gets up on a stage with a bunch of people and he starts killing. And I'm telling you, I know for a fact that Israel and the Jews have to be destroyed. And if I'm lying, the earth should collapse in front of me, underneath me. And his entire stage collapsed and he fell into the dirt ground. Beautiful. God is speaking to you people in the world. Screw with the Jews. We're coming back. We're ready for your fight. And yes, when Mr. Trump, if they cheat Mr. Trump out of this election, and I'm embarrassed
Cheat
to say,
him out of the election.
there's going to be riots. There's going to be war. Those white supremacists and those crazy people in the middle of the country are not going to accept these election results, and I'm scared. I'm scared of a civil war. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I mean, I know that I'm going to accept any decision that's made. But if they come crazy, freaking out over here in New York, the Democrats, when they lose, we're going to be ready for that.
I predict we're going to have a constitutional crisis.
Yeah.
And it's going to be crazy this year on the streets.
No, it's
There's
not
no
every day a
question
criminal
about it.
runs for office.
2025, but I know that we're going to have the riots and the Palestinians flipping out. You know, Malaysia today decided, again, something terrible. Malaysia bans Israeli-owned businesses linked with shipping, citing cruelty against the Palestinian people.
What?
Yeah, Malaysia, the country. Now, here's the thing. There was a very nice doctor, a Palestinian doctor in the hospital, you know, which they found
Yeah, the director of the hospital that they interrogated yesterday.
You know what? They found him working for Hamas with a gun, without a shirt, shooting Israelis. But he was the hero that's helping all the people. A lie.
No. That's a regular doctor. They took the director of the hospital. That's one of the doctors that worked at the Shifa.
They said he was a hero. Right.
The director turns out to have been in Hamas since 2010 and explained in detail how they use the hospital as a base and the fact that they use private ambulances to transport Hamas fighters but never patients.
And you know, the U.S. is talking to the Israelis that Hamas should go back to run Gaza again?
Absolutely not.
I know that, but it's a fact that they're actually talking that Hamas should be back to running. That they're even in negotiations about it. Impossible.
Who's negotiating about that?
United States is telling the Israelis that it's an.
Is Hamas actually going to live in Gaza, or are they going to still live in Qatar?
That's the head, but those losers
I
have
several comments I want to get to real quick. First, from Justin Parsley. Of course, each state is an independent republic, but we're united as one country. A presidential candidate can be refused. Being refused to be added on the ballot is a slippery slope to the start of another civil war. When are we divided? When are we united? We are living in the craziest times, and only God we can trust. Christopher Messina wants to say Florida is tired of you all. We're moving on by. Zena wants to say,
I love you, Chris.
Zena wants to say to all the brainwashed individuals that are calling Trump anti-immigration, really need to go to the Department of Homeland Security's website and see for themselves that immigration is defined as any person lawfully in the United States who is not a U.S. citizen, U.S. national, or a person admitted under a non-immigrant category is defined by the NIA section 101A15. The key word here is obviously lawfully, so clearly Trump has never been anti-immigration. There is no open door policy written into the law just about anyone in willy-nilly into this country. To do so would break the law, which sadly has been happening for quite some time. It's quite infuriating that Biden is going to compare Trump to Hitler. Jewish citizens of Germany were forced not to be citizens of a country that they have been a part of their entire lives during the Second World War. These people flooding the borders like cockroaches were never citizens of this country. For individuals to spread propaganda comparing Trump to Hitler is not only preposterous, but completely dangerous. Will having Trump in office lead to, you can have Heshy read you these words here, Tikkun Olam, and that's basically,
Olam.
I don't know. I'm not.
I have to say that
Yeah.
I don't
Tikkun
agree
Olam.
with
What
everything
does
in
that
that
mean?
comment.
Tell people.
Tikkun Olam means to help the world, to heal the
Can I-
world.
can I-
That's a very well written comment.
It wasn't by me.
Very well
Too
researched.
long for my taste.
I wanted to do a commercial for
Thank you,
Crossroads,
Zena.
but I just want you to know what I read today was the majority of U.S. young people between the ages of 18 and 24 want Israel destroyed.
Isn't that insane?
A shame. A shame.
Isn't that
You
insane?
people are crazy, you young people. You have nothing better what to do. You're
And
gonna
then they
destroy.
stormed Penn Station this
Yeah,
week. You saw
crazy.
that?
You know, these people, these activists, they get all upset about Gaza, but they don't march for the Muslims that are getting oppressed in India. They're not marching for the average, all the Muslim people that are getting oppressed in Iran. I mean, this is it's they're selective. You
Right.
know?
Well, this goes to the last commenter. This goes a little bit to her point. Is how can you compare Trump to Hitler? It's not that it's a comparison of Trump to Hitler.
Trump derangement syndrome?
But there's incendiary language being used, and nowadays we live our lives by sound bites, right? So he's saying immigrants are ruining the blood of the nation or poisoning the blood of the nation.
Right.
I think is what he said. And that soundbite alone was enough to send people off their rocker, enough to not listen to whatever else he had to say. That's true for most of the Israeli-Hamas conflict. in that they see little snippets of things, or they hear little snippets from some very angry Israelis around the world, and they're not listening to the rest of the story. Everything is done in 30-second TikToks and 30-second
Well,
sound
can I ask
bites.
you a question, Nicole? So you believe in the future, Iran should have a hard border with Gaza. Is that correct?
Iran should have a border?
I mean, Israel, sorry.
Oh, Israel should have a border with Gaza? Absolutely, they should.
So why don't we have a border with Mexico?
We do have a border with Mexico.
But not really. We have the migrants pouring over the border.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have Gazans coming in
So-
like
but
rats from
your-
under tunnels.
But your party, the Democratic Party, is okay with open borders here in the United States.
I don't know that they're okay with open. Again, this is another sensationalized thing.
It's not sensational.
I don't know
It's
that
not
they're okay with
sensational, it's a
open
fact.
borders.
No, I just find
Democratic
it
Party-
ironic that you're tough on the border in Israel. You're very conservative in Israel, but I mean, how do you feel about the border in the United States?
So there's a reason that I'm more conservative in Israel than I am here.
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Israel's survival, Israel's very survival, its very existence relies on the fortitude of that border. That is not true for us. While we can be economically disadvantaged, our safety could, maybe take a hit, our very existence is not threatened by a bunch of Mexicans coming in from the
But
south.
first of all, they're not Mexicans. They're from El Salvador, Venezuela.
Whatever it is.
But if we allow 1 million or 2 million people come to the United States, what do you think is going to happen to the United States? I mean, they're not. It's going to start threatening, people's livelihood. How are we going to take care of all these people? How are we going to
We can
provide?
accept all of them, but we got to do
I don't know
So
that we
my
have to
fault?
accept all. By the way, I've never once advocated for accepting all of them. Okay, there's certain things that I think we should really be leveraging about having new people come in to try and work
we
and
agree
to
with
and
legal.
to.
Out of
We
the
all
100
agree with
I never
legal
said- I
immigration.
Out
never
of the
said take a-
150,000 new migrants that came in, do you know how many Hochul has taken care of and got work permits and sent upstate to get new lives? 2,186, and only
tells you she's being pretty
856 of
conservative.
them, and only 856 of them has officially gotten their papers. Out of
In New York City, we have
150,000
67,000 that we're housing right now.
So, Nicole, are you ready to condemn the Democratic Party or Joe Biden's policy of open borders here in the United States?
If you can show me a open borders policy, yes, I would condemn it. There is no open borders policy. What you're taking for a
We
party,
have 160,000 people in New York. Is that correct?
Yeah.
and how many of them got shipped from other states?
Yeah, but they most
But
got
they
shipped
shipped
from
them here.
Texas. They
Right,
shipped
they
them
all
They
came
shipped
from
them here.
Mexico.
That's not because we said, let's take in everybody.
Yes,
It's
we
because the
did.
other states were being
Yes,
jerks
we
about
did.
it.
The mayor and governor said, ship him.
They
go."
actually called our city a
Yeah.
sanctuary
Sanctuary
city.
city.
And they even said, we'll take them. In the beginning, I heard him say, we'll take them. And he thought 8 or 10,000 was cute. When 160,000.
You were talking about it last year on the
Yeah,
show. I
I
remember
said,
listening
stop
to you
it.
talking
It's,
about
it's
that.
going to get crazy. I said, 8 or 10,000 is too many.
Okay,
By the way, now they're flying them in.
Yeah.
Right, now-
Oh.
right, so
I hope they're
basically
not
it's a
giving them
trafficking
first class
operation.
because Linda won't buy me a first class. The Legal Aid Union approves pro-Hamas anti-Semitic resolutions calling for a boycott of apartheid Jewish state. The
Boy.
Legal Aid Union. Your
Go to
people.
hell. My people.
They're legal. They're lawyer. Yeah.
She's in private
The
practice. She's
union
made-
representing legal aid lawyers approved a controversial anti-Israel resolution Tuesday that calls for an economic boycott of the apartheid Jewish state
Good
and
luck.
immediate ceasefire in Gaza.
It always cracks me up when you want to
those
boycott
legal-
Jewish products.
Those legal aid
Turn your
lawyers
cell
don't.
phones off and send them in. You can't use your computers. No microchips. Turn off Waze.
But those legal aid lawyers don't make any money, so we don't care. You don't spend anything. You're just a bunch of idiots anyways living in your basement apartments. A New York City pre-K teacher wasn't punished for anti-Semitic poster as parents call for a probe of a campaign against Jews. Serena Aboud, I don't even care if I said your name right, a 29-year-old teacher at PS 59 in Beekman Hill International School, sparked outcry over a poster which featured drawings of different noses in question about Jewish people.
Oy vey voy.
I would imagine the typical character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and again,
And it cracks
now
me
we're
up
gonna
because
go
Arabs swear that
completely
they have small noses. They
today.
really
And I
don't.
was talking to Tom about it. A Queens man accused of submitting 100+ fake absentee ballot applications in the 2022 election. Now they catch him. Can we take those votes back? Can we do that? Because if he did it, how many people? Other people.
Who were the
did
votes
it?
for?
Well, something.
Democrat.
crack
They were
me
for
up if the votes
Biden.
were for Trump.
They were for
Well,
Biden.
we'll have to see. Lisa wants to say thank you, everybody. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. And I want to plug. I'm going to get to a couple of comments, but I also
You
want
got
to
to do Crossroads.
I'm going to do that first. I want everybody to go to Crossroads of Toms River, 751 Route 37 West in South Toms River, New Jersey. You can give them a call anytime, also at 800-805-6989. They're open from Monday to Saturday, and they serve our community with care and compassion. They deal a lot with mental health and any other things you're struggling with. Anytime, give them a call. They won't judge you. They're not prejudiced. And anybody that needs help, I know with the holidays, it's very tough right now. People are kind of reflecting about maybe if you've lost a loved one or the relationship you're in is not what you hoped it would be. And Crossroads of Toms River has been serving the community here, and they definitely do a phenomenal job. And we want to certainly make sure we spotlight those that are actually going out there and helping people. And if you're anonymous, you can actually be anonymous and give a call, and they will not judge you anytime you call them throughout the day. It's 800-805-6989. And it's Crossroads of Toms River. Make sure you can check them out anytime. Also, Crossroads of Toms River as well on the World Wide Web. And I have a few comments I want to get to first. Also, I've seen illustrations like that in the Holocaust displays.
Yep.
Also, our First Lady of Sports Bar Radio, Zena, wants to say about you, Nicole, that she likes you, doesn't always agree with you, but she appreciates that you are basically giving out the facts and information. So that's nice out
I
there.
appreciate that.
The facts are wrong.
Well, she's saying that she
it's all
doesn't
right.
always.
You just
agree
have
with you.
alternative facts.
She's saying she
Wow.
doesn't always agree with you, but that she appreciates the way you explained it, and that she really is enjoying that. And also, thank you, Lisa, for subscribing to my YouTube page, because I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers and I'm almost there. So thank you, Lisa, for subscribing to my personal page. Also, Black Beauty wants to say that what Nicole said about snippets sounds like the way material is presented in school, and. Also, then that's the comments for now.
Right, and it's all about the discourse. The discourse is
If
important.
Trump, which won't happen, gets off the ballot, who do you want to see to be the Democratic nominee?
Democratic
I
nominee?
mean, Republican nominee.
He
sorry.
doesn't want to see any Democratic
Right.
nominees.
Who do you want to see the Republican nominee? I like Vivek,
I like Vivek a lot.
but I also like
You love Nikki Haley. You're a
Not
big Nikki Haley
DeSantis.
fan.
Anyway,
Don't like Nikki Haley.
I was a long time ago, but not anymore.
don't use that word, whatever you do.
Well,
Christy, you're a big fan of, right, Christy? I was a joke. I was joking.
God shoot me in the head with Christie. I don't want to say the bad word, but he is a bad man.
Well, let's ask Nicole. I mean, she's a Democrat. Is Joe Biden going to make it? And if he's not, who would you like to see as a Democrat on the ballot?
I will be forthcoming. Joe Biden is not my first choice.
Obviously.
I think that's what's going to happen, and we're going to be forced into that decision again. But no, that would not be ideal for me.
Do you think he's done a good job?
I think he's done a fair job. If I had to grade him, I'd give him a C.
Do you think he's doing better than if Trump was president?
Yes, in certain
Really?
respects. Yes.
Wow.
The only thing that I think Trump could have done better than what is going on now is there may have been a little more international calm.
Right.
And that's, again, because
Very
everybody
good.
knows
That's so
he's out of his
important.
damn mind, right? So that's really why. It's because he'll be the first one to push the button.
Yeah, but
right?
but in college, the first thing, one of the classes in game theory, you learn an irrational player makes people scared.
I don't know that it's not so much that people would be scared. It's that he's
Or the perception of being somebody being
he's
irrational.
completely irrational. I think for international calm, he would have done a better job. But for domestic life, and this is how I explain my voting. I'm a dual citizen to the U.S. and to Israel, and sometimes my politics between what's good for the U.S. and what's good for Israel don't always align. And because I live here, this is my main home country. I was educated here, brought up here for the most part. When I vote here in the U.S. for a U.S. leader, my first thought is what's good for the U.S. I need a leader for the U.S.
Right.
So while Trump may have been good at helping Israel, and I think he's definitely friendlier to Israel, especially when it suits him because he needs the Jewish vote. I don't think it's necessarily because he likes Jews.
He's always been good to Israel.
I think he was friendly to Israel, and I can understand why Israelis like him. But domestically, he's a disaster. For our domestic well-being,
Inflation
he's a disaster.
down, gas down.
Inflation was
business
not
up.
down.
Sure it is. It was
A whole
great over
pandemic
there.
happened under this man's watch.
Whole epidemic happened under his watch.
Yeah, he was
I
president
love
at the time.
I got you.
You know, Heshy.
It was a fake epidemic, by the way.
There was
How was it fake?
There was something
It was the
actually.
Democrats that set it up.
When you don't
Heshy-
like something, it's fake.
I wanted to bring something up. I know we've been talking a lot about Trump, but I want to talk about something at a local level, and I'm sure George would probably know something about
But
this.
I wanted to ask you, before you go to local level,
Okay.
you know that Mr. Santos is gone, thank goodness. You
Yeah,
know, even
happy
though
about
they threw him out illegally. Again, innocent till proven guilty.
But you said
He
thank
was-
God, so you agree with it.
I agree because I didn't like him, and he was homosexual.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You think somebody shouldn't be serving because they're gay?
Really, Heshy? Come on.
No, I have no problem that you're gay, but he was a crazy gay.
I don't even know if he's really gay. I mean, the guy subscribes to OnlyFans. I was
Gay guys
du-
on OnlyFans?
no, but they were straight women.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, so I'm just like, what
I
is
don't know,
he?
but
Is he
you
even
just
like?
can't bring your gaiety or your sexual thing into the Congress. or
Men
the
do it all the
Senate.
time.
I know it's wrong.
President Clinton did it.
I know
They
he's a
all
pig.
do it.
President Clinton was a pig.
Well, the Democratic senator, they like to bring it into the hearing room, didn't they?
Right. Oh, right. I heard that. I said, right. Democratic guy brought it into the hearing room. Did it
Actually,
on
you
the
do have your
tables.
nephew here, by the way. Just
Oh,
to be a
right.
little careful about
But-
some of the things.
Oh, that's
but
why he's
people-
smiling like that.
Santos is gone. Santos
Yeah.
is gone. They now nominated a lady called Mazi
An
Philippe.
Ethiopian Israeli who was a member of the IDF, I think at one
I
point.
like that. What do you say about her?
About time. About time. That's what I
Maybe
say.
she
Snap your
will
fingers.
go fight that crazy Ilian Talib. What's her name again?
Talib, yeah.
Talib? What's her first name?
Rashida.
Rashida, who
Yeah.
cares? Anyways, but we need somebody when that crazy Rashid gets up. I want to see Mazi get up and scream back at her. That's
And you know what I
want.
love?
You
I
think
love.
she'll do that?
I hope she does, and I love that she's an Ethiopian Israeli because
Right.
they don't get nearly enough
They
representation.
say there's not enough
this,
black
th-
people
This
in Israel.
nonsense about Israelis and Jews being white is such
Right.
bull, such
Right.
bull.
I was watching
We're
the-
not.
yeah,
There are so many African Israelis, Ethiopian Israelis. Almost every country in the Middle East and throughout the world was affected by the Jewish diaspora. My family's from Morocco. Moroccans are not white, right? So this idea that it's become this race issue just to simplify it and put it into this contextual box. I love her. I love her.
We
'cause
are
she's going to
Europe,
challenge.
my family's European Jews, but I feel a little bit of Spanish spice in my blood. I know there was, a Raul Tishlesov. I like that name of Raul.
Raul.
You know, I think my
Raul.
next kid I'm going to call him Raul, but I'm not having any more babies.
Oh, you're not?
Bye-bye.
You
No more
sure?
kids? Sure, no more kids?
I'm sure.
All right.
I'm
Still
sure.
got, still hope
I don't
for
know.
it,
Listen,
you know?
Sarah and
No,
Abraham had him pretty late.
I know
Former
that.
Senator Al D'Amato had a kid at like 70 or something like that. I mean,
Really?
he did, yeah.
Oh gosh, idiot.
Well, not a fan
no,
of
I'm
him.
done.
Another corrupt
My
Republican.
hair
so
it turns
she
There
might
you
white
go.
appreciate
every
that.
There you
6
go.
weeks. I have to pay $7.95. If I have another kid, it'll be every 2 weeks. No, I'm done with that.
So, Tom, you wanted to say something locally?
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about something that basically it was
Congested
yesterday.
pricing?
Yeah, no, well, partially, but I really want to talk about with something that Governor Hochul signed into law yesterday. In June, there was a bill that passed that New York State would create a commission-based considering reparations for
Yep.
slavery.
Oh, God.
And Governor
Really?
Hochul had signed that.
You know what,
into law.
We
local-
don't have money. We
You know
don't
what?
have any money. Where's the
right.
money coming
You
from?
know, well, first of all, why should my family and my wife's family, who both came here in the last 40, 50 years, have to pay reparation? I don't get that.
Yeah.
But also, side note, Assemblyman Michael Novikov
Yep.
here, and as a Republican assemblyman, voted for this commission to study reparations. You know, so that's the
So
shocking part.
here's the
And
thing.
he was supported by Kalman Yeager.
By
And by the
the
way,
way-
he's going to get primary.
By
That's
the-
what I'm hearing.
And by the way, I will be supporting. What's this guy, Joe Sabin? No, I can't
Not
say.
yet, not yet.
I can't say. I'm gonna be supporting the. Not Michael Novikov on this.
Fair enough.
Even though he does have a guy by the name of Izzy Weiss that will be running against him.
Oh, God.
Ina Venikova's sidekick. Not saying
I didn't
the
hear
word.
that. I didn't hear
Butler.
I
that.
heard that. Fact. It's a fact.
That's
Come
fine.
on, you know
So
that.
on the,
know that.
on the reparations bit, you know, I caution everybody not to jump off the cliff because we're hearing sensational words, right? A reparations commission doesn't necessarily mean that New York is going to pay reparations. While I think there's a better use of our time and our tax dollars, I do admire that states are finally reconciling our history. Right? And New York, it's funny that New York would be doing this because New York was always
Yeah, but-
New York
state.
abolished slavery in
Yeah, we were one of the
1827.
first
But
ones to do it.
Also, additionally,
1827.
Yep, that's what I
Hundred-
have
It's
here.
like 40 years into the country.
also
That's
di-
right. I have here. I basically what it says is basically the extent of the law is
also
federal and state
additionally, I just
support.
want to have a side note here. Hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers went and not hundreds of thousands, but tens of thousands, died during the Civil War to end slavery.
To end slavery.
So,
right.
you know,
Yeah, I really wish
we
the
paid the
southern
ultimate
states.
price.
You
in
are
New York.
wrong about that. What they did is, as you came off the boat, you became a New Yorker, and they immediately signed you up to join the Union Army. When you
But
came
we also
off the
had
boat,
volunteers.
We also had
but
volunteers.
most of the-
Hamilton
but
and
you
Mulligan.
were-
You ever seen the
right,
Broadway
but
show?
you
We
were
had plenty of
You were able
volunteers.
to pay $300 and get out of the Army. Oh, our producer's back. Hello, producer.
Okay, well,
we need you to change the camera. It's
I also-
too,
I have here-
It's only showing Nicole there. What did you do? You had a nice little lunch outside. Can I have the camera on me? I know I'm fat, but you can put me in the picture.
All right, moving on here. California is
He's
doing
crazy.
the same
He
thing.
disappeared for a half hour. Where was he? Doing breakfast?
Well, California apparently is doing the same thing, Heshy.
What?
California.
Reparations.
They did that a while
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I believe that there. I know my father's family came after the war. My father after the Holocaust with his two sisters. But I do know one thing, that I went to a gravesite and I did see Tischler name in the 1850s and 60s, and I saw the Fish family in the 1890s. So I believe there was a Captain Heshy Tischler somewhere.
Oh, really?
Just a question here is, did Germany pay your family reparations?
Yes, so Germany, no.
I
So
mean, that's
Germany
wrong.
did.
That's a fair question.
Germany did give reparations to a lot of survivors. My father straight out told me, never, never, never will he take it. My mother said, never, never, never will she take it. They now are offering those reparations to the children of the people that did not take it. I will never, never take it. Me and my brother said we'll never, never take it because it's quite a bit of money now. And we don't want their blood, dirty money, even though we should go back and take our houses and land
Germany is one
back.
of our biggest supporters right now.
I understand that. So if
ugly
you want to talk
history aside.
reparations, the point is if they put that money aside, I don't need that they killed and burnt my family, and you're going to pay me a fee for that.
Why not take
No.
the money and put
Donate
it
it
in,
to
donate
Israel.
it to the vests or
I
whatever?
got you. And Israel did take quite a bit for their cars and stuff like that. We can't. Do you understand? I am not a third generation like my nephew or fourth generation. I actually saw my father cry and tell me the stories. He actually stood in the concentration camps and saw his family being wiped out. He fought on a horse, the Germans in that war, and saw them shoot and kill people just for the fun of it on the street. So I heard the bitterness of 7 of his family members being killed. The Holocaust survivor I met in Israel killed his whole family except a brother and a sister, my father's nephew, who's 96 years old, now turning 97 years old. So I heard from them the pain that they still have to this day. So October 7th, what they did, coming and killing for no reason, it's not even killing. We even understand that war, you die and kill. They came and raped and threw you into ovens, alive. Do you understand that? The pain that those people went through, I don't even understand it. We can't understand it. At least kill them. One lady, actually, I keep repeating it in my head every day. Kill me, kill me, kill me. You're raping me after 8 times. Kill me. When does somebody ever ask to be killed? So reparations, we don't need them. We don't want them. I don't want them. I want nothing to do with them. And I don't want to pay no slavery reparations. Either we're going to move on. You know, I've been in my life, and you're a lawyer. How many times do you tell your clients, move on? It's over, right?
Only if there's no other option. Right?
And there
It's
is-
not
there is
move
no
on. It's
adoption.
my job is to right
There is-
wrongs.
there is
Right?
no
And
money.
so
Me and George
it's
have
not a
no
matter
money
of money.
to come up for
No,
the
no, no,
slavery
no.
reparations.
Hold on. We're not
We're
talking-
broke.
we're-
Not really. George is very wealthy.
We're not,
No, I am not very wealthy.
we're not talking money.
But George, the only reason George is complaining because he has a daughter and he's preparing for that big, massive I hear your dresses are like $30,000. Are you crazy?
I'm not spending that kind of money.
You are.
And
You
I'm
are.
only-
Your wife is a wacko. She's going to spend
No,
30 grand
no,
on that
no,
dress.
no.
Matter of fact, she's going to get one of those Wang dresses. What's her
No,
name again?
definitely
Vera
not.
Wang, she's an excellent designer.
I understand. Designer. I can buy
Yeah.
you the same thing
Not
off
gonna
the
lie.
rack in downtown Brooklyn.
That was who.
Wow.
That's where
But my
dress came
wife
from.
does not. My wife is Asian and does not spend money.
Well,
Yeah.
Linda's
Wow.
dress was one
Okay.
third the cost of my wedding.
Vera Wang does
Okay,
make some
and you
beautiful
know,
dresses, though.
I
I'm just
still
saying.
have Linda. I didn't throw away Linda's dress. We have it compact, sealed, perfect condition. And lately I said, Linda, maybe we should lend it out. No, nobody's touching my dress. I said, what? We're never getting married again. Never, I promise you.
I'd like to bring up real quick our First Lady of Sportswire, Zena, wants to say that the Soviet soldiers assassinated My great aunt and her entire family, including a little baby. My grandfather's brother was a lost soldier in the war, and I also want to apologize at the end of my comment I made toward her comment about something else I said, basically with the Trump derangement syndrome comment. It was a long comment, and I said
Okay, you don't have
something
to
about it.
apologize, Nicole.
That's okay.
She's a tough cookie.
Yeah, it's fine.
No,
Let's
I
get-
was
appreciate the
apologizing about
discourse.
something I said
Before
in the
we lose
explanation.
our
but yes.
audience, I want to talk about local politics.
Yep.
Okay.
The congestion pricing, which Mr. Mayor fights about other stuff, all of a sudden he has nothing to say about congestion pricing. Now, here's my question. Okay, I got you. You're making me drive into the city to pay you $15
Yep.
crossing the town. But why do I have to pay on the way out? It's not fair.
And
Once
how about
you-
Governor
once
Cuomo
you
all of a
cross that
sudden
By the
line-
said
way-
he's against congestion
But
pricing?
Governor
He was
Cuomo,
for it.
that-
He was
that-
for it. Now he's against it?
Now he's against it. 10 years he let that go under his leadership. That's why he passed. I'm against it now. Cuomo, please, I don't make my campaign manager run me against you as mayor.
Actually, Karen had said Heshy for mayor, so we do
Right,
have a
yeah.
couple people
Now
said
hold
Karen
on,
Heshy
hold
for
on.
mayor.
Are people not allowed to change their minds?
After 10 years of screwing the city,
Listen, people get divorced after 10 years.
His
So,
explanation.
after
His
screwing the
explanation.
same
His
person, it
explanation.
happens.
listen to his explanation.
His explanation was that when he supported the law, that there was no such thing as COVID, and also people weren't working remote. So he feels that when he supported congestion pricing back in 2019, what has happened now to the city didn't happen then, and we didn't forecast that. So he feels for those reasons economically that he's opposed to congestion pricing, and he wants them to delay the beginning of congestion
As
pricing.
more people get back to the
My
office.
big objection with the
that's what he-
congestion
his
pricing is that you're going to have billions of dollars, hundreds of millions go to the MTA. There's no accountability at the
No,
MTA.
yeah.
And they just
Yeah.
passed the
And
budget
what
today
about-
for
wait a minute,
$19
forget
billion.
the MTA, and what about the state is going to get a piece of the action? The city's going to get such a small piece of the action for running
And
the show.
Merry Christmas to WNEW 1027. We'll see you next week. WSNR. Also, I think it's WJPR in Miami. We'll see you next week. And Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. So
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
and-
Well, we're back on the air next week. So
Oh, we're back on it. Right,
Yeah.
right. Christmas is what?
Christmas
Monday.
is a Sunday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell we're Jewish.
Sunday-
No idea.
Sunday,
It's okay.
Sunday
It's okay.
night we have the tree party with the presents, or Monday?
Monday is Christmas.
I want to
right?
make sure.
My
Joseph,
party
I'm coming over
for
yeah.
giving out the
No, no,
toys?
not the
It's
toys.
Saturday. His party
The
is
family presents that go under your home tree.
Monday,
You know, we have the big Hanukkah
Monday.
Lane in Central
It's
Park.
going to be Monday.
25th.
But George's party, by the way, one more time, 8681 18th Avenue, the New American Civic League with the Coney. That's going to be from 4 to 7
Anybody
p.m.
can come for toys?
I mean, yeah, we're not going to. We have no way to test if you have a need. You know,
Just-
so
Well, I
Please.
mean, yeah, Heshy has a nephew here. He might need a toy.
Right, right. He spoke to me like a child before. You know what I mean? He says anybody can get just by signing up
8681
25% of the
18th
vote.
Avenue. It's sponsored by George's entire family. So you want to go make sure you
Thank
support
Heidi.
that. Yeah.
Thank you, George.
Thank you for
Thank you,
sponsoring,
yeah,
George.
Thank you for sponsoring. And
well,
welcome
also
back
the
out.
Coney, I want to thank them again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely want
yeah,
to support
yeah.
them and their efforts. And,
One more time, I want to talk about the Crossroads things. I really like them.
yes, we definitely want to give a big plug to them, especially, everything going on out there in the world and people feel the way they are. That's at Crossroads of Tom's River. That their telephone number is 800-805-6980.
We're going to be posting it up next week on the
Yes.
screen.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. It's 800-805-6989. They're in South Toms River, New Jersey, 751 Route 37. Again, they handle care with compassion. Anything that's on your mind, if it's a mental health issue, if it's something related to anything at home or something you're feeling about the holidays, maybe you're not with loved ones, not with family, you're going through a grieving period, give them a call Monday through Saturday through all business hours. Please, definitely don't be scared. Don't be shy. They will help you. They won't judge you. You can be anonymous, and they will make sure to help you out. So also, I want to plug one more time Nicole's law firm, the Weitengruber Law Firm. They're at 732-695-3303, 1720 Highway 34, Suite 10 in Wall Township, New Jersey, 07727. They handle bankruptcy, foreclosures, trust, wills. I know Heshy, if we have a lot of listeners out there, they have some financial issues, concerns. Her and George do a great job
Be careful.
handling that out
Those
there.
trusts are very good. You don't have
And
a-
the S&P is up 23% this
Nicole,
year,
you
so
don't-
she might
you
be
don't have an
handling some of
email,
that.
Nicole?
What's that?
You don't have an email?
Yes, it's Nicole at
How do you spell Nicole? Because
VeitenGuberlaw.com.
there's so many ways to spell
That's
that.
fine. Nicole at VeitenGruberLaw.com.
Do you accept marriage proposals there?
No, not there, no.
One final note, and this is for you, George. The city council passes stupid laws every 2 minutes.
How many stops act in the HO 549?
Right.
Yep.
Tell them about it. Now, the police officers, when they stop you just to talk to you, or to check your ID have to write a whole report on it. So not that we have to waste the policeman's time. Now we're going to make him write up reports. If he stops 3 people a day, he's going to be writing reports another day. So again, now you know why I want to get into city council. It's just stupid. You're wasting my police time when he should be protecting me, not letting people.
And solitary confinement.
Yeah,
being,
and now
restricted.
and even the mayor's against it. They're stopping solitary confinement. You can stab somebody through the eye, kill him, cut his throat,
and even
in jail, but you can't put him in solitary confinement so you can go out and do it again in jail.
Even Democrats like William Colton, Bill Colton came out
But
against
you know who's for it? Jamani Williams. He's an idiot. Just an idiot.
And Jumaane Williams, the guy who famously lives on the Fort Hamilton Army base.
The safest place probably in
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah.
How long do you think someone should be put in solitary confinement?
If you know that John
Forever?
Gotti was in solitary confinement forever. Because from jail, he was still giving out rules to kill people.
Right, but
so somebody walking around stabbing and killing people, like a mental institution, you put him in a mental box. And when you take him out of the box and he walks around the hospital and he attacks other people, you put him back in the mental box. That's what's called a rubber room.
I've had a friend that has been in solitary confinement, and he didn't kill or hurt or anybody.
That's the problem.
And he was there because he was punished by the federal authorities who ran the prison.
Right.
So, I mean,
They tried that with me when they put me in jail for that one night. Anyways, we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you, my
Thank you, Black
listeners.
Beauty. More
Nicole,
toys for bigger kids from Black
Yeah, come out to the toes. Play that music.
8681
We
18th
love you,
Avenue, New
everybody.
American Civic League in the Coney. Make sure you go out there.
Come
if
on
you
back
need help.
next week, and I'll tell you what present
And
George bought
Merry
me.
Christmas, everybody, and thank you to
Happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
holidays.
And thank you to Miss Messina and everybody else, our first lady of
I
Sports
love
Wire.
Christopher.
And, yes, Christopher Messina,
Are you
Lisa
going to play the
Leto.
music, Evan?
And yep, so we'll make sure everybody, we're hanging on.
Oh,
here.
he's telling me sure when he disappeared
So we'll give thanks
outside
to
there
everybody
for,
out there.
yeah.
Check out George, he's out there,
Who
and
knows
then
what
also
he was
Nicole Suissa, and also